All right, people, it's our time again. We've gathered for moments of matters arising with the street comrade. I welcome you all to this moment. Um, it is weekend already. Today is Friday, and thank God it's Friday. As you enjoy your weekend, apply some cautions and be safe out there. Quickly, we'll start with happenings in Nigeria. National Data Protection Center (NDPC) raises alarm over cyber attacks on Nigerian financial system. This comes after the Corporate Affairs Commission (CAC) platform was reportedly hacked. Within the week, news filtered in that the AI portal of the CAC, that is a Corporate Affairs Commission, the institution that is in charge of registration of companies, formalizing companies as corporate entities, that their portal was hacked. Thousands of documents has been exposed. So the National Data Protection Center has raised alarm that not only the CAC platform, but lots of financial institutions platform, are facing a risk of hack. We will not submit to noise, rascality, and disobedience to lawful court orders. Tinubu fires. The president has declared that him and the APC and his government will not succumb to mere, whatever you may call it, rascality or noise. I think probably from the opposition, and this is coming after the opposition had to go ahead with their convention despite subsisting court order that asks all parties to maintain status quo. ICPC sends an identity thief to 1 year imprisonment for fronting as NAFDAC staff and submitting fake bank account to British High Commission for Migration. A Nigerian, a lady, went as far as making fake documents, financial statements that are required for traveling, financial status. He doctored one and posed as a staff of NAFDAC, creating ID card, giving himself a letter of there's what they call the letter of I think recognition, letter to prove that you are not running away, you are a staff of NAFDAC. Meanwhile, she is never anywhere a staff of NAFDAC. How far people can go. So she has bagged 1 year imprisonment for doing this. Telecom companies stops data credit borrowing for their customers. This is coming as the Federal Consumer Protection Commission (FCCPC), has made how do I put it? The commission, were able to, in a bid to carry out their official responsibility in protecting Nigerians. Let me just say it this way: that they found out that the communication companies are shortchanging Nigerians through this data credit borrowing. So they have asked them to abide by the rules, and this has led to both MTN, Airtel, and others to stop their borrowing platform. So you can no longer borrow to come and be challenging us in the social media, Facebook. So be that as it may, Federal High Court in Abuja has issued an arrest warrant on the former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Sadiya Umar Farouk. Remember, at the tail end of the Buhari administration, about 500 billion plus, we are allegedly not well utilized. I'm just trying to manage words. So Sadia has been called to appear and make some explanations. This is as we saw it in the cable news. Okay, gunmen abduct UMTE candidates in Benue State. This has appeared to be, should I call it a yearly ritual or recurrence. JAMB started, I think, few days ago. So little kids who have gone to write JAMB in Benue have been kidnapped alongside other persons. So we're looking forward to, seeing these relevant security agencies, to swiftly move into action to make sure that these kids return home safely or safe. Over 700 repentant terrorists to be reintegrated to the society, and the Nigerians are kicking. Why and how should we continue to pamper these terrorists? Why they keep committing, atrocities here and there. National Open University to hold its 15th convocation on 18th of April. That's tomorrow. That's the grand finale. Activities started today. Terrorists planning to bomb major infrastructures in Abuja, including the airport, the prisons, and some critical, national infrastructures. This is the news that has been in the internet. We pray that this is not real. Okay, Dangote and Trump. Our own Dangote and Trump makes it to Time's most influential people of the year 2026. And we heard that Elon Musk didn't make that. That is that. Wike rules out PDP ADC merger. According to His Excellency Nyesom Wike, the Minister of FCT, which is a chieftain of the PDP, a faction of the PDP, has insisted that there is no plan for merger between the PDP and the ADC, which is the opposition party. Senate panel gives NNPC 2 weeks to come and explain how 210 trillion, the discrepancies of 210 trillion, in their audit report. Nigeria's debt toll still hovers above 100 trillion naira. Airline operators of Nigeria, AON, signals to shut down operations come 20th of April 2026, citing global hike in aviation fuel. From Monday, we never can tell how those of us that uses the airports, how we're going to survive in moving around. So, but news came in that the minister is actually working to make sure he's able to work out something, beneficial with the airline operators. So hopefully before Sunday, it's our prayers that this will be resolved. International. South African main opposition leader Malema backs 5 years imprisonment. Why? In 2018, during some rallies, it was reported that Malema released some bullets in the air. So for gun possession and for shooting, he has been handed down 5 years imprisonment and is expected to run concurrently. Iran loses chance of former 20 years waiver for uranium enrichment. Following the current hostilities, before now, Iran was actually allowed for a 20 years period, to enrich its uranium and for the purpose of domestic use for energy purposes. Now, following the current hostilities, the United States of America has insisted that Iran will not, at least at the time being, have not even a single drop of uranium in its country. Donald Trump's signature to appear on dollars. Donald Trump's signature will now begin to appear on US dollars. This is to honor the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. And this is the first time a sitting president, is having his signature to be appended, in the United States of America's dollar. There is no military solution to the problem in the Middle East. This is coming from the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres. He has insisted that diplomacy remains the best, way forward to resolve the problems in the Middle East. Gunmen shot 3 Iranian police officers. Iran has before now been a coordinated country, so to say. But following what has happened in the recent past, a whole lot of news, populace uprising to this point that we are now reading, that people had shot at 3 police officers. US Senate voted in favor of Trump's right to continue strikes in Iran. Some Democrats had gone to the floor of the Senate to opine that Trump does not have the right to have invaded any other country without getting certification from the Senate. But in a vote that was casted, I think it was 52-47. So Trump won. The Republicans won. That is to say, Trump has the right to strike Iran and probably any country going forward. The UK Prime Minister have summoned the bosses of social media platforms, to look at children's safety. A whole lot of things are now happening on the social media that children are not supposed to be exposed to. So countries are tightening rules to protect their young ones. And based on this, the UK Prime Minister has summoned the bosses, the owners of Facebook, YouTube, and all of these social media platforms to come so that they can talk, to know how more protective these things will be made available for people to use the social media. That is it on today's moment of Matters Arising with the Street Comrade. It is Friday, just as we've said. Play safe out there. Enjoy yourself. Don't drink and drive. You can catch up with us in our social media handles on YouTube, on former Twitter, which is now X, and Facebook. We are the Street Comrade on these social media platforms. Thank you for being there. See you in the comment section. We want to hear from you. Have a blessed weekend ahead.